1, 2, 3.
Hi, my name's Richard Griffin, and this is Perception.
So money, pen, ring, phone, and keys. The other. And you got one in your mind? At this moment, is there any way I can know which one of these you're thinking about? Alright, here we go. So now, Zoe, in a second, I'm going to get you to pick whatever object it is in your mind, pick it up, put it in your hand like this. We'll all be able to see what you go for, but I want you to hold it exactly like this in your hand, okay? So, think about it, long and hard, 5 objects, your random object. Zoe, whenever you're ready, reach in, grab one out. Pick it up, put it in your hand. Go. Perfect, okay, like this. Happy? Is there any way I can know?
No way.
You've gone for the money. And just think about how impossible this is. You could have mixed them up, you could have changed your mind a million times. You ready? Ready, Zoe? I knew you would go for the money. That's what I wrote there.
Oh my god!
Get that in there again, the little money card.
With Perception, you can predict anything. ESP symbols, colours, objects, countries, drinks. The possibilities are endless. The reset happens in front of your spectators, so it's perfect for walk-around magic. You can also repeat the effect immediately for the same person or group of people with a totally different outcome.
Everyone come in. And I'm gonna speak a bit louder so it comes out of the thing. So we've got some objects. We've got money, there's a bank card, pen, a ring, a phone, and keys. Okay. So if you just want to get out, it was used as those. So money, pen, ring, phone, and keys. Perfect. One of you is going to decide on an object. Right. So one of you is going to choose an object, and I'm going to use you for this. All right. Now, someone's going to mix these up. Let's mix them up. Can you just quickly mix these objects up so they're not in the same plane? Yep. Don't burn yourself. All good? Alright, perfect. Zoe, right? You're going to choose one of these objects, and whatever you do not change your mind, alright? Whatever that object is, that is it. You can change your mind as many times as you want, but you're going to come back to that same object in your mind, fixate on it, but don't look at it so that we can tell where it is, alright? It could be any one of these objects. Now, look at all of them. So one after the other, so you've not looked at anyone in particular more than the others. You've got one in your mind? At this moment, is there any way I can know which one of these you're thinking about? So if I write something down on here and I guess it's correctly. Alright, here we go. So, you haven't changed your mind?
Yeah, mate.
So now, Zoe, you've got one fixated in your mind. It doesn't matter how many times hang on a second. Change your mind as many times as you want, mix things around as many times as you want, but there'll be one just in your mind and that's it. Happy with it? Got it? In a second, I'm going to get you to pick whatever object it is in your mind, pick it up, put it in your hand like this. We'll all be able to see what you go for, but I want you to hold it exactly exactly like this in your hand, okay? So, think about it. Like you have 5 objects, your random objects. Zoe, whenever you're ready, reach in, grab one out.
In my hands?
Pick it up, put it in your hand. Go. Perfect. Okay. Like this? Happy? Is there any way I can know?
No way.
You've gone for the money.
Yes.
The money. And just think about how impossible this is. You could have mixed them up, you could have changed your mind a million times. You ready, Zoe? I knew you would go for the money. That's what I
Oh my god. Ow!
Money! Well done, everybody! Congratulations! Let's get that in there again. The little money card.
Oh my god, wow.
Hi, my name's Richard Griffin. Thanks for buying Perception. This trick is based on an effect that I brought out a number of years ago called key prediction. With that trick, you had a number of objects. One was freely chosen, and that object was printed on the back of the key fob. Now that trick was based on a trick called Don Wayne's Room Service, and Don Wayne's Room Service is based on Al Quran's medallion. Now with Perception, it works in the similar way to those tricks, as in, for instance, key prediction was some steel discs. You had a couple of steel discs with different predictions on that you could slip into the key fob. With Perception, you get a magnetic pad and steel plates that magnetize onto the pad. So let's have a closer look at the pad and what you should have received. So you should have received a pack of pads, a gimmicked pad, which is actually a block of plastic, and inside there is a magnet embedded inside, and then 2 steel plates, and these magnetize onto the gimmicked pad. So let's see the setup. So in this performance, I'm going to show you with objects. Now you can predict anything you like. Use colours, like coloured snooker balls. You could use drinks, ESP symbols. You know, possibilities endless. You could use anything you like. But for this, I'm going to use objects. And if you are going to use the objects, what you need to do is you're going to write down your predictions in a moment. I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. But you want to have objects that you know you can easily borrow. So the ones I have are keys, because you can always borrow someone's keys, a wallet. Well, guys usually have a wallet, or a purse from a lady, a ring, a credit card, and a phone. So they're the 5 objects that I would borrow, and they're quite easily obtainable. But I'm going to show you now in close-up how to write down the predictions on the pad. Okay, so I'm going to write down the predictions now. You don't write anything on the gimmicked pad or the steel sheets, okay? Otherwise you're going to ruin them, okay? Do not write down anything on those. Get one of the regular pads out of the packet, and this is where you're going to write down all your predictions. So we're going to use a Sharpie, and I'm going to write down wallet, like that, and this you stick onto one of the plates. Like that. Now you're going to write another prediction on the back of this plate, but on the pad, of course, not on the actual plate. So the next one I'm going to write down are keys, and again I'm going to stick that on the back of that plate there. So as you see, I've got keys on one side and wallet on the other. Then I'm going to do the same on this plate. So we're going to write down a ring. And I'm going to stick that on the plate there. And credit card, or just write down card, and stick that on the back of this plate here. So now your plates are set up. And I'm also going to set the pad, the gimmicked pad up. And for that you need to place about 10 sheets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 sheets, peel those off and stick them onto your gimmicked pad. Like that. Because these are the sheets that you're actually going to write down the 5th prediction, which is the phone. And of course, once the trick's finished, you can peel that off, throw it away, and of course now you've got more pages there for your next performance. You now need to put these into your pocket. Now I use a jacket pocket. You could use your trouser pocket, or you could use an inside pocket for the gimmicked plates. And you have to remember which is which and what side it's on. For instance, as you can see, this has got wallet here and card on this side. On the other side, you've got ring and wallet. So I know exactly that on the back of wallet there is keys, and on the back of card there is ring. And the plate that's in front is the wallet and the keys, and the plate that's behind is the card and ring, because it's going to go into your pocket like that. So I know when I reach in, the plate in front is wallet and keys, and again if I reached in and retrieved the back plate, I know that one is the card and the ring. So those two are in my jacket pocket here. Like I said, you can have it in your trouser pocket if you like, or even in an inside pocket you could use as well. And then the gimmick pad, you can place this anywhere. I place it in my other pocket with a pen. And now I'm set, ready to go. So first of all, I'd just like to say thank you to Matt Daniel Baker, who helped me out with the performances of Perception. You've just seen him in the trailer and the uncut performance. And he does a sellout stage show in London's West End. And if you are ever in London, check him out. He's fantastic. So first of all, you need to borrow some objects. And you need to borrow the objects that you've got written down on your prediction plates. So that's easy to do. You just ask for those objects. You say, oh, has anyone got a wallet I could borrow? Have you got a what? Yeah. Have you got some keys I could borrow? A card, a ring, a phone? That's great. So you just ask for the objects that you need, and the ones that are written down on your plates. The only one you haven't got written down, of course, is the phone, and that's the one you're going to write down on the actual pad. So once you've got your objects, you ask someone to think of one of the objects. Just don't tell me what it is. I just want you to think of one of those objects. All right. And then you bring out your pad. You show it that there's nothing on it. And you're going to write down one of the objects on the pad. You say, I just want you to think of that object. Think of the object. And of course on here, you're going to write down phone. So I'm going to write down phone, and I conceal it with my hand so they don't exactly know what I'm writing down. So okay, I've written down one of the objects and I've placed it face down on the table just here. And you say, in a few moments time, I want you to pick up the object that you're thinking of like this and hold it in your hand like this. Okay, so just pick it up and hold it in your hand like this. Right, fantastic. So we have the wallet, the keys, the card, the ring and the phone. Which one are you thinking of? Which one are you thinking of? And they tell you. And at that moment, what you're going to do, if they say the card, for instance, I know that that is the second plate in my pocket at the back, and that is facing outwards. Its card is facing outwards, so I know it's the right way out. So I reach in and I can pull it out, and that says card. Now I do this as I put the pen away. Okay, so I say, okay, now just tell me which object you're thinking of. The card. Okay, so and as they say, I put the pen away and I just steal the plate. So now I've got the plate in my hand, and I say, okay, if you just pick it up like this and just hold it in your hand like this. All right, so you're basically showing what you did before. So it's basically you're doing the same thing, saying, hey, just pick it up and hold it in your hand like this. So there's no suspicion, because you've just done it a minute ago and you're just doing the same thing again. And this move is by a guy called Nick Crown. So I'd just like to say thanks to Nick for this move. So they've picked up the card. They've got it in their hand here. You've got the pad here in your hand. You say, look, I could not have possibly known that you're going to choose the card, but somehow I did. And you show that you've written down card on the pad. So I'm going to show you now some live performances of Matt Daniel Baker performing the move, as in when you put the pen away, you steal the plate and then you're loading the plate onto the pad. Because I know some of you probably think it's kind of a blatant move, but you have to remember what you've done before. You said you've got all the objects out and you say, hey, look, in a moment I'm going to ask you to pick up one of those objects and hold it in your hand like this. So you actually show them how to pick it up and hold it in their hand, and you're doing it with the pad. You're showing them how to do it. So then you put the pad down again. So when you do it the second time, it's not going to be suspicious. It's just as far as they're concerned, you're just picking it up and put it on your hand again. Nothing's going on. So I'm going to show you that now in these live performances, and you'll see that the spectators don't have a clue what's going on. Have a look.
Yep, whatever it's in your mind, just pick it up, put it in your hand. Okay, excellent. Now I asked you to pick that up and hold it like this. Yeah. Is there any way that I could know, or could have known what you were going to go for? No? Alright, just so I can see you've gone for the square there, right? With the square? Would you be impressed if I knew that? If I'd figured that out about you and I could show you now?
Oh, that's awesome.
Pick it up, put it in your hand.
Yeah, because went against what you told me to do. Now pick that one.
Good, it's in your hand?
Yeah.
Are you happy?
Yeah.
Ready? After 3 we'll show each other. 1, 2, 3.
No!
Show me?
So the reset is very easy. After you've showed, well, if they chose the phone, all you do is peel off the phone piece, get rid of it, and you reset. Of course, if you've got one of the plates on the pad, so you just finished it, that says card on here, all you do, you bring it towards yourself, and all you need to do is slide off with your thumb the plate. And once you've slid it off, you then it reveals phone underneath. You peel this off, and then you get rid of it in your pocket as you then take the pad in this hand and the plate in this hand, and I just drop them back in my pockets, and I'm now reset. So you can repeat this immediately to the same person or group of people. You don't have to though. I mean, if you get a great reaction the first time, that's it. Stop. Don't do any more. But if you get those people that are a little bit suspicious and go, well, maybe you just guessed right. And you go, well, hold on a sec, let me try again. And what you need to do, let's say the last time they chose the phone. So it's very easy because all you need to do is peel that off and throw it away and you're ready to go again. But say you had a plate on it, obviously it said card on this one. You say, oh, okay, well, let's try this again. And what you need to do is just to turn it towards yourself again. With your thumb, again, you just slide the plate off and then take off the phone and screw it up quickly. So you do it quickly because obviously they've just seen card written on there. So you just want to rip that off and then put this away in your pocket. Don't leave it on the table because if they take it and open it up, it will say phone and they'll say, well, actually that should have said card. All right, so you don't want that. So just get rid of it in your pocket. You don't want any accidents. So now the pad is blank again and you say, okay, well, let me just need a pen, and you reach inside your pocket and you put the plate back in your pocket. And I put it behind the other plate in my pocket because that's the order that I have them in. As I get my pen, and now I'm ready to go again. So just a little tip on the plates. When you have these in your pocket, obviously I've got one behind the other one in my pocket. If they choose the keys, for instance, I know that that's on the back of the first plate. So when I reach inside, all I do is in my pocket, I pull off that first plate and then I flip it over in my hand. So now I know that the keys are on this side and it's ready to go straight onto the pad. And when you bring the plate out of your pocket to load it onto the pad, just be careful you don't flash the plate. So you don't want to sort of do this as you do that because you could flash it. Be careful as you bring it out. Your hand, the back of your hand is towards the spectators as you picking up the pad, and then you load it on like this. And then once you are loading it on, you can, with your fingers, just square up the plate around the pad when it's like this. It's very easy. Just when you're loading it on, obviously it might not be exactly square, so then with your fingers you can square it up. And this is all in the moment when you take your pen and you say, right, think of anyone. I now want you to pick up the one that you're thinking of. And as they picking it up, you know exactly which one they're going for. And that's when you go in your pocket, grab the right plate, and you say, right, I want you to hold it like this in your hands. So you've taken out the plate, you've placed it, you've loaded it on, and you've squared it up on the pad. And then you can reveal. Another idea, if you're performing this at a table where you're sitting down, Matt's done this in one of these performances here. You can have the plates, you can have them in your pocket, but you can take the plates out and just rest them on your leg, because if you're sitting down, you can rest them on your leg. So when they're choosing an object, you just reach under the table on your leg, palm the plate as you're picking up the pad and load it on like that. So you could have it just resting on your leg if you're sitting in a sitting down situation. And as I mentioned at the start of this, you can perform this with anything. You don't have to use objects. You can use drinks, ESP symbols, countries. An idea that Matt had was he had 5 of his business cards. So you could have 5 of your business cards. On the back of your business cards, you write down 5, a country on each card. So you've got 5 different countries and you spread them out on the table and they choose one of the countries. And you predict, obviously, the correct country they chose, and then you peel it off. You peel off the country off the pad and you stick it on the business card and you give it to them as a souvenir. So they've got the country they chose, the country you chose, and now they've got all your information and your business card. So that's a nice little idea. So thanks once again for buying Perception. I'm sure you'll find lots of ideas that you can think of yourselves with this. And I also like to say thanks again to Matt Daniel Baker and Nick Crown for their ideas.
So basically these are ESP symbols, and what the old thing used to be is if I held one of these up, you'd have to guess what it was, so I would mix them up. You wouldn't necessarily know what they are, what order they're in, but don't give anything away just yet. I'm going to place these down in front of you, and all I want you to do is concentrate on one of them, whichever is your favourite one. You're going to concentrate on one of them, but I'm going to ask you to mix them up, so they're not in that order. So if you go ahead and mix those up, we're going to watch you mix them. So just move them around. Okay. That's it, just keep mixing them, so they're not necessarily in any particular order, and you can stop whenever you want. And then just put them in a row when that's done. Okay, perfect. This is good. Excellent. Alright, Nicky. As you look at these, you've got one, your favourite one, or whatever it is, one of these that stands out in your mind, and you're focusing on that? Yeah. You can concentrate on that? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to draw the symbol that I think you will have gone for. Okay? So don't give me any clues, just concentrate on whatever that symbol is, whatever that shape is in your mind, keep it locked in. Now, I'm going to pretend to sort of draw all of them because I don't want you to necessarily think that you can see what I'm drawing. So we'll go. Okay, this is good, I think. Alright, in a second, what I'm going to ask you to do, whichever one of these is your favourite, I'm going to ask you to pick it up, place it in your hand, and put your other hand on top. Even though I'll be able to see which one you've got, I just want you to hold it so that you just get the feeling, and I can watch you do that, okay? So just get that in your mind. Have you selected one in your mind? Yeah. Yeah? Okay. Alright, all I want you to do, I've committed, all I want you to do is pick one of those up, the one that you like, and put it in your hands. So the one which I selected? Yeah, whatever it's in your mind, just pick it up, put it in your hand. Okay, excellent. Now I asked you to pick that up and hold it like this. Yeah. Is there any way that I could know, or could have known what you were going to go for? No? Alright, just so I can see you've gone for the square there, right? Yeah. Gone for the square? Yeah. Would you be impressed if I knew that? If I figured that out about you, and I could show you now?
Ah, that's awesome. That's good.
Do I let you
How did you do that? I was trying to not concentrate on that one. I was trying to concentrate on each and every one equally.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got that part. Yeah.
But you knew, because when I met you earlier on, I could tell that you were very neat, very precise. Yeah. And a square is a precise person. You think very clear, you think very cleanly, you're observant. And also this building has a lot to do with it, because you work in this building, and out of those, this looks most like a building. And so you were focused, you were focused on your job and the people and the evening ahead. And I sensed that about you. So when you were mixing these, I was watching you and I thought to myself, this is too chaotic. This is fluid. This is something that's kind of... Yeah, it's too much for your mind. A plus sign doesn't really necessarily resonate, doesn't mean much to people. A star normally feels like someone that's showing off or has got a big ego. That doesn't feel like you to me. And the circle, again, it kind of just keeps going round and round and round in circles, whereas you like to be a little bit more precise with what you're doing, which is why I felt that you would want the square. So I'm going to leave this, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sign my name, and it's 30th, isn't it? 23. So you can keep this, and whenever you think about just at work, keep it in your pocket. When you get bored, take it out and have a look at it, and just start thinking about all of the stuff you want to do with your life, and to make sure that when you carry that forward, you always are a square. You make sure everything's taken care of. No wavy lines, no chaos, no big dramas. Just nice in the box, bang, nail it. Okay.
Thank you so much. No,
Thank you, thank you, mate.
That was awesome. I didn't expect that. I was trying to concentrate each and every one equally, like not to get away. I didn't want you to look at me looking at my stuff. So yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, amazing.
I totally expect that.
I'm really glad. Thank you, mate. Seriously, thank you. Thanks very much. Yeah, but I mean it. Concentrate on your future.